Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Woo! First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Oh, yeah.
Is this thing on?
Microphone check, microphone checker. Yeah. What's happening, y'all? Ooh, too funky. Wake on up. Time to get your body moving. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. And y'all piling in on this Women's Wednesday.
Man.
Mark Manor from the bike lane. Good morning, all. Thanks for joining us. First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul Beeee, Buddi3 Da Gawd, all of you chat chimers, all of you ghost listeners.
Oh.
All of my bad chords. Thanks for joining us. Man, everybody's up bright and early on this Wednesday, February 8th, 2023. I'm glad y'all awake because I ain't.
Man.
I didn't get one wink. Not one wink.
It's been like that all week, boss.
Tired, boss. That woman says good morning. What's happening on YouTube over there? I appreciate you. Pop says good Wednesday morning, First Sky. Pops is sending mad love from Vegas.
Hey.
Appreciate it, Pops. Can't wait to get out there and hang out a little bit. Wanda Lewis gives us a good morning over on Facebook. Thank you. That woman is celebrating because she beat Pops this morning. She's the first one on. This is your first time being first comment. That's what's up. That woman.
Celebration.
The celebration. Like he just said, what's up? Woot woot Wednesday. Oh, she got all kinds of sayings for the week. I like it. Who is Exquisite Delight? I like that name. Good morning, First Sky fam. Good morning to you as well.
That's Mama God.
Oh, Mama God. What you know about Delight? I wonder if she's talking about Delight. That'd be cool.
Delight. Well, you know, her name is D. That's her nickname.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, you know, shout out to Mama God. Real quick, shameless plug. Exquisite Delight is the name of Mama God's business. She makes custom cups, centerpieces. She does party decorations. She's decorated the children's birthday party, and like she goes all out, man. Custom plates, custom candy bags, all kind of stuff.
Dang, that's what's up, man. I got some coasters from her that she made.
Yeah, man.
That's what's up. Exquisite Delight in the house, man. Support Black business. That's what we do.
Hey, we're gonna talk about that a little later on today too.
Always. Pop says, man, that's some funk. Yeah, we trying to bring it, Pops. Even if I didn't make it, I gotta find it. That's how it is. Mark Manor's in the bike lane right now, rolling and listening in. I appreciate you. Be safe out there, my man. Yeah, I heard the weather's a little better today. Kimara Snipes gives us some sunshine. Good morning to you. Good morning, all. That woman says, hey, I like getting up early and catching so many of my favorite people to start the day. I like that too. And you just laid out what I like 3 days a week. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Amy Huffless gives us a good morning from YouTube. Ty Williams says good morning with some sunshine from Virginia.
Hey, DMV in the building? Okay.
Hey, I was wondering what my Texas listeners, what time is it? Are we in the same time zone? Y'all listening to Texas?
Yeah. It still should be central.
I mean, Texas is a big state, though. I think they got a couple time zones within the state. So I was just wondering.
Possibly.
That woman says, I used to be first a few times on Facebook, but definitely been a while. Well, I appreciate you getting on this morning. Ariel's 402 said, Mama used to say, take your time, young man.
Hey.
Mama used to say, come on, man. He said, don't rush it, don't get old. Live your life. Man, Ariel's 402 with the old school jams. I love it. That's what's up. Pop says Texas is the same. I forgot you spent some time in Texas too, Pops. How'd you like it out there? I swear I would never live in a death penalty state, but here I am.
Man, no choice. Ain't California about the corporal punishment?
Yeah, they're about the prison punishment, but I don't think they don't have death penalty out there.
Okay.
That woman said, "Now, groove, groove is in the heart is in my head, right? That's what I was thinking. D like groove is in the heart." Pop says he loved Texas. That's what's up.
Man, it's a lot of Omahans in Texas, man. A lot of people transplanted themselves to Texas. I've not really spent an extended time in Texas, but I might be going out there in a couple months for South by Southwest. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, that as far as wanting to go to Texas, definitely South by Southwest. I haven't never been, so I've been wanting to do that. But the couple of times that I drove through Texas, I was stopped about 8 times. I remember one time I drove through Texas and got 8 tickets driving through. So I was like, well, guess I'll go around next time.
Yeah. Yeah, I flew through Texas. It was hot enough for me to be like, yeah, I'm okay.
You gotta give you a ticket on the plane, even like,
man.
What are you doing here, young man?
Ask Talib. Ask Talib Kweli.
Oh, dude, man, I was looking at the airlines and the credit cards and stuff. I was looking at American Airlines, but Talib been getting hit up, and if Talib get hit up on an airline, he's gonna tell about all the other people that got hit up too. Apparently, American Airlines has got a little problem with black folks on the plane sometimes.
Really, okay.
So I was like, I guess I better look at Southwest again. Kimara Snipes says my auntie from Jim Crow South sold her house in Omaha to go to Texas. Says a lot. I know a lot of people that have. There's a big Texas Omaha connection for sure. Yeah. Mama God is asking what is South by Southwest? You want to explain that one?
Yeah, South by Southwest is a large media, film, music, fashion. It's a conference. It's a big conference that happens in Austin, Texas every year. I don't think it has happened in the last couple of years due to COVID. But yeah, it's a very big conference. A lot of artists get discovered there. A lot of films get previewed there. I think that was the first time some of the Jordan Peele films were seen. A lot of good content and things come out during this conference.
Yeah, if you're in the industry, you definitely should go. If you're a band, there's been several bands that like they get a bus and drive from Omaha down to Texas and Austin to go to it. So it's one of them things. If you're in the business, you need to be there.
Yeah.
Stacey Jean says, "Good morning, first Sky Omaha family and friends with some sunshine. Thank you. Kimara Snipes says, "I'm one of the few left in Omaha from the family that did decide to come to Nebraska, which was few to begin with. Yeah. I'd be wondering why I'm back here myself for the same reason. A lot of our family moved away.
Man,
Pop says Texas and Omaha are the same on the prejudice tip. There you go.
Okay,
familiar place. So there you go. Kimara Snipes says American Airlines also got a problem with taking taking of their customers when something bad happens. I didn't hear about them stories. Let us know. Arrows 402 says don't forget to hit the like button on your way in or out. 186 subscribers, new since Wednesday. Race to 200.
Hey,
thanks for the report, my brother. We're trying to get 200 likes and subscribes over there on YouTube, on the YouTube page, so that we can have another reason to celebrate. I like finding reasons to celebrate. That's what's up. Mark Manor says big push right now about bands getting paid fairly at South by Southwest. Might be messy this year. Did inside news there. Okay. Well, we appreciate everybody getting up and jumping in, man. I'm excited myself. Like I said, I don't know why I'm not just falling over myself. I got no sleep last night. Absolutely not one wink of sleep last night. So
not one iota.
Not one iota. So I'm not delirious. I don't know what's going on. So I'm cool right now. We'll see by mid show if I start nodding off. Then holla. Kimara Snipes says about 30 planes got grounded when I was in New York City. American Airlines was the only one that didn't offer hotel rooms or food vouchers for their passengers. All other airlines did.
Man,
spread this news because I'm a cloud hopper. I want to hear all the details from these airlines. I'm gonna make sure I choose the right ones when I go. I'm tired.
Was this did that have something to do with the Chinese balloon?
I don't know. Did it?
Yeah. From the reports that I read, the balloon made its way over to airspace over North Carolina, the Carolinas, South Carolina. And I do believe a lot of the planes, we got a listener out in Virginia, let me know. A lot of the planes in the East Coast, DMV, Carolinas, I think even up to the New York area, they were grounded because this mysterious spy balloon was in the airspace and nobody knew what it was or where it was coming from.
Well, check it out. They finally shut it down, and they still can't. Now they still can't find it. It's in the ocean somewhere.
They can't find it.
They haven't been able to find it yet.
What? Maybe that was the plan the whole time.
Oh no. In other news, there's the death toll in Turkey's rising. 11,000 people now. They said everybody's going over there to try to help out. News this morning said even the Taliban going over there with some drills and stuff to help get people out. Everybody going. Russians going, Ukrainians going. They're gonna stop fighting a little bit so they can go over there and help. So
really,
seems like everybody in the world is going to try to help right now. So
that's interesting.
That's a trip. Yeah, it is interesting, especially when they were like, even the Taliban's going over to help.
Man, I mean, but Russia and Ukraine just going in the middle of a war.
Y'all can spare some folks. Okay, go ahead. Come on. Excuse me. Yeah. Anyway, there's a lot going on. Of course, we got a lot going on in our neighborhoods as well, which is what we like to talk about. We do have special guests coming in. Of course, we'll be politicking with P. Precious McKesson, history making P, as we like to call her. Should be on a little later on, and then Kimara is already on, so we'll be finding out what's good in the hood with her pretty soon as well. So appreciate everybody who likes to join in on Women's Wednesday. It's always a good time for us as well. Wealth of knowledge, those two ladies. Put some respect on their names. I love hearing from them and everything they do. So that's what's up.
Man. Powerful.
There you go. Pop says Southwest was the worst. Thousands of passengers stranded for days, and they did nothing for any of them. I remember that story. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Southwest had them stranded, man. They didn't. I just don't even know. I'm like looking at doing some cross country driving or something because the plane situation is just bad.
Man, all the time now. Regardless, don't ever fly Frontier. Man, I flew Frontier back from when we went to Cali. It took me 2 days to get home. I would have been better off just driving.
You were sleeping in the hotel? I mean, sleeping in the airport and all that?
Yeah, I actually did. I had to like fly overnight to Denver, have several hour layover in Denver, and then the plane kept getting pushed back, and this wasn't like any, spy planes or storms or nothing. They just were unorganized.
Yeah, that's a hot mess. Yeah, man.
Frontier count your days.
Yes, Southwest. I mean, all these airlines, man. There's some bad business going on. I don't understand it.
You was kind of talking about that around COVID. It was like, man, it seemed like things shut down, and then ever since then, just the customer service has not been a priority. Has not been anywhere close to what it should be.
Well, it was already. You should have. I don't know how much flying you did before 9/11, but
none.
Well, let me tell you something about the difference between flying before 9/11 and after 9/11. It was like it's night and day. It's like what you get now. I can't even explain it, man. It's night and day though. It's a trip. So and it's been on a steady decline as far as I'm concerned. A steady decline. It's like only fly if it's absolutely necessary. I absolutely don't really fly just for going to hang out somewhere anymore. I've been looking at the road and trying to take that road trip because I'm sick of the airlines, but I'm really tired of it.
We need a bullet train. That's what we need around here.
Yeah,
bullet train.
A streetcar from Omaha to Texas. call
Fifth Alley to wherever you need to go.
Exquisite Delight says can't find some parts, asking beachgoers to report if find anything suspicious. What parts are you talking about?
The spy plane.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna end up on eBay.
Pop says Turkey is one of the most beautiful places in the world. I've never been to. Pop. It's pretty nice, huh? I heard it looked like a war-torn territory now with the earthquakes that just hit. All the concrete buildings are jacked. Kimara Snipes says, dang, Paul, I generally go with Southwest. Them 2 bags free are a winner. Where did you go 2 bags free where?
Yeah. Check in, man.
Yeah, man. Mama God is saying that too. The worst ever frontier. That woman said I used to sneak my dog on the plane in my jacket before 9/11. Seriously.
Oh dang, yeah, they not playing
One
that.
good thing about what 9/11 happening. Never mind. Mama God said we got steak served on China when I was a child, bro. Real dinner.
What?
Real dinner.
What? Peanuts and pretzels? What?
Not that I missed this, but you can smoke a square on the plane. I mean, it
Oh
was
yeah,
just,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
just
I
hanging
know
out on
about
the
that.
plane, bro.
I
It was
know
like a
about that.
club. Pop says, man, travel before 9/11 was an exciting joy. All that changed overnight. All of a sudden, you're taking your shoes off.
Man,
All kinds of mess,
got to
bro.
cough 2 times.
we just shooting the breeze. 7:16 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, what are we gonna be talking about today before the ladies get on?
Not the planes, not the planes, the planes.
Boss.
We do have a lot to talk about, man. Housing is kind of going to be the overarching theme of the day. Some things coming out. Omaha Habitat for Humanity giving some insight on their new project at the former Wintergreen apartments. I'm trying to figure out exactly where this is.
Somewhere like 50th and Sorensen somewhere.
It's giving the area, but I'm just trying to picture it in my mind. Where this is.
They've been torn down for a while, from what I understand. It's been like an empty lot for a minute.
Yeah. Yep. So, is this the old Mayat apartments? Is that what the Wintergreen is? Let me know. But we're going to talk about this new project from Habitat for Humanity, supposed to be addressing the housing shortage. So we'll get into that. Also looking at what happened with the Legacy Crossing situation. Again, tragic situation that went down over the holiday break. Hundreds of people being displaced. So we'll talk about exactly how that came to be. Also, hopefully get an update on maybe what's going on with the towers situation. Big shout out to all the chat chimers out there who have been active and boots to the roots on that. So we'll definitely love to hear from that, especially with the camera coming on a little later. And then also, Omaha City Council has approved more rental assistance for those who are able to find a property. So we'll jump into exactly what aid is on the way, especially for those of you who might need it, man. We'll give you some hopefully good information, some useful information. So we'll definitely dive into that. We do also have some business things. It is, of course, Black History Month. We're talking about the Black business support that comes from Empowerment Network. So I know some people have some ideas, some thoughts. Would definitely love to hear your voices. Let your voice be heard. Let your mind be free. Also going to dive into what's going on with the timeout situation. Again, timeout has been for sale now for quite a few months. So we'll jump into what's going on. What's the future of timeout? Is it going to be time in pretty soon? We don't know. We'll see. All that and more. Of course, we do have our special guests. The ladies coming through. Kimara Snipes, Precious, McKesson. Put some respect on their names. So all that and more. As always, if there's anything that we're not talking about, feel free to let that be known as well. Again, this is First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, all of you here for the next 2 hours. Let's go.
Let's do it. Good morning. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, all of you chat chimers, all of you ghost listeners, thanks for joining us today on this Women's Wednesday. We will have special guests Precious McKesson and Kimara Snipes. Put some respect on their names in the house. We'll be politicking with P and seeing what's good in the hood with Kimara. So stay tuned for that. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for putting stuff in the Friends of First Sky Omaha too. We really kind of go through there and look and see what we want to talk about. And we'll definitely, that's where we go from, and then try to do a little research on some of these items so that we can bring them to the floor for us to all talk about. Chat's going off this morning. Really appreciate everybody jumping in. That woman said it used to be able to go to Canada or Mexico for the night with no passport too. And it was cheap too. I remember being cheap tickets for that. That woman and Mama God are saying yes. The old Maya.
See,
Answering that question for you. Anthony Hart gives us a good morning. Good morning, Mr. Hart, Brother Hart. Mama God says, giving good morning too. That woman says they said on the news last night that Legacy Crossing owes over 200K in taxes, and you can get them by paying the back taxes. Nobody's going to. I saw that. I saw that. They were actually talking about some of the issues that we talk about how you can go in and on if somebody's late on their taxes on their house, that you can go in and buy, or pay off the debt, and then give them a certain amount of time and opportunity. If they don't pay the debt off, then you own the property. And they're actually trying to Kavanaugh is trying to pass a law so that you can't get people's property that way.
man.
And they brought up some of the properties around town that are in that situation, and one of them was some several $1 million facility, and they owe 200,000 in taxes, and they were like, but it's the Legacy Crossing, so we don't know if you want to do that one. Kind of attitude. I was like, wow. Um, Interesting stuff. We had a Legacy Crossing in our headlines the other day, and we really didn't get to that, but there's a couple things to be said about that we will dig into for sure.
Yeah, I brought it back around. I figured this would be fit right into all the housing things that's going on. But that is interesting that you brought that up. That Senator Kavanaugh is pushing to eradicate that. We did talk about that, if you remember, the story of the family that didn't know their house was sold until they looked in the paper.
Yeah.
That was the same situation. Family
Tax
just
liens.
looking. Yep. Family just looking through the paper over morning coffee and find out that the house that they're sitting in just got sold. So, yeah, man, it's a real thing. So housing is especially worth discussing. But I am curious. Do y'all want to jump right into that, or do we want to start light? How y'all feeling?
Yeah. We'll put it out there to the chat. You guys want to talk about this housing situation? While we think about it, I just want to jump into the chat a little bit more. Carolyn Jack gives us a good morning with some sunshine. Good morning to you. Appreciate you, Purple Fam. Jillian Post says COVID has had long impacts with the way we respond to conflict. Some have legitimate reasons for crappy service, and others use COVID supply and demand issues to cover their unwillingness to fix stuff. Okay, yeah, I can keep that in mind when I'm thinking about the airlines, but they got to get it together. They was already messing up before COVID. Christy Norris says, "Who's going to Lincoln today?" That's a good question. Remember, we're still on this push to go up in person and back some of our senators who are backing some of the bills that we like. And it's a good thing to keep a reminder, keep a ride flowing. Get with Preston Love, get on his bus, get up there. We're going to try to jump into some of these bills in the weeks to come too. Now that we have the senators that come on Friday, and just kind of see what bills are happening on what days, and try to help coordinate some things. Whitney Richardson says, "Good morning, fam. Appreciate you coming on through. Good to hear from you. Enjoy your podcast very much, very much. Definitely check her podcast out. We can talk about that too a little bit later in the haps. But our sister Whitney Richardson over here has a podcast called Political Evolution. Definitely check that out wherever you get your podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, all those places. So definitely check her out as well. Definitely a deep dive into some politics with a lot of very interesting people. So that's what's up. That woman says the proposed bill will allow people to still pay tax liens in to get property, but the buyer would have to give the defaulted owner the equity they gained. So if they sold that spot, the actual owner would get that money instead of the person that took over the property. So we'll see if that bill goes through. We'll keep our eye on that one. Ronnie Shields in the house. What's up, California in the house? What's going on, Bo? He said, let's get them likes up. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Also, a picture popped up in my Google memories of the apartment I had at Legacy Crossing. So thankful to be past that. Didn't know you lived over Legacy. Okay, that's what's up, man. Christy Norris says, and they're adding amendments last minute. That's another reason to get up there. Catch them adding those amendments on those bills. A lot of sneaky tactics be going on. So definitely let us know. And put it in the chat if you're talking about going up today, and just let's just put it out there so we can help coordinate some time up there in the legislature and check out and see what's going on. And then, of course, don't forget we have the senators on for the legislative report on Friday here for Sky 7 to 9 on Friday. So check that out as well. Between time, let's jump into the housing, man.
It seems like that's where the people are. So we're gonna meet them exactly where they are. We definitely appreciate y'all for tuning in, and again, we'll definitely love to hear your thoughts questions, concerns, whatever you got. Let's just have a conversation about it. Talking about housing in the area. Of course, an evergreen conversation, something that's going to continue to be a topic of discussion, especially here on the show. But definitely love to hear those who grew up in Omaha. Do you remember the Myatt apartments? Do you remember the old school Myatts? I have quick memories, like I probably 5, before I was 5, but by the time these tore down. But if you grew up in Omaha, the Myatt apartments are notorious, and now apparently Habitat for Humanity is trying to breathe new life into that area. According to KETV 3, the troubled past of a North Omaha property has finally taken a new shape. About 20 years ago, the Wintergreen apartments, as again, thank y'all for clarifying it, because I never knew it was called Wintergreen. Mama called them Myatts. I'm gonna call them Myatts. I'm gonna call them Myatts. So the Myatt apartments sat at 51st and Sorensen, but were run into disrepair by one-time owner Avram Simmering. He faced legal consequences back in 2006. The city decided to tear down the complex, ultimately leaving behind a vulnerable dumping area that soon after Habitat for Humanity came in and bought up. And now a very different project for Habitat for Humanity is showing up at the former site. It is called the Blue Stem Prairie. It will be located at 51st and Sorensen. It'll provide affordable housing for seniors and families. 3 News Now visited the area with apparently some high schoolers who pitched the idea on Tuesday to start building the new homes. So for those who are familiar with volunteering with Habitat for Humanity, this is definitely a big project for that. This is actually an important first step, according to Amanda Brewer, who is the CEO of Habitat for Humanity Omaha, saying the first of its kind project in building communities for Habitat Omaha. This is a serious affordable housing crisis for our families in Omaha, with a shortage of about 80,000 units. She says, we are pleased and honored to redevelop this site to create homes for people and to build community. So I'm going to just share my screen really quickly to give people a quick glance at what this will eventually look like. Here's some computer renderings, but this is, again, the area. I used to actually live by this area, kind of in the Wakanda, kind of by Wakanda back there off of Sorensen.
It looks like a 1950s suburban,
a little bit, very cookie cutter.
Yeah, man. And the thing that's standing out to me is that, well, I guess the apartments haven't been there in a long time, I guess. So I can see that. So immediately I'm like, well, how much?
Yeah, true.
180 to 200,000 is what these houses are supposed to be going for. These are single family homes that they're going to sell. That's great. I'm glad that there's going to be some actual houses, some homes. We getting bombarded by a whole lot of apartment complexes everywhere. But I don't know. Can you afford $200,000 house?
That's a good question.
Yeah. So I don't know. What could have gone there in its place? I'm not sure either. I mean, this is a tough one because we always talk about that we need more homes built. Habitat does have some programs too. So I heard them talking about the fact that they will have to pay, they'll pay the mortgage, but they're going to have a really low interest rate, and it's fixed, so the rent will never go up on them. I guess you're right. That woman, she said that's a decent house. That's a decent price to buy a house nowadays. When I got in Omaha, man, I was looking at $60,000 to $100,000 houses though. That were
those days are long gone, bro. The house I grew up in, I believe my parents bought that for like less than 50, around 30, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but I mean, I got here in 2010, and it was by 2015, I was looking at houses, and they were still a whole lot of 60, 70, 80, 100. Especially in those neighborhoods.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think about that? That's really kind of the question.
Mama God. Yep. She says, "Where is it again?" Sounds like down the street from me. Yes, that's down the street from the house, Mom.
So apparently, they tore those apartments down a long time ago, and it's just been an area that got a lot of trash dumped in it and stuff like that for a long time.
Yeah. But I do want to speak a little bit about the history, because you're kind of like the way you're saying it, you know what I mean? Like, it's just the area that got run down. Like, this was a notorious area. A lot of activity, a lot of criminal activity. Let's just be honest, in that area. Again, I was kind of a child running around at this time, so I would like for some of the more experienced people in the chat to who has more memories about the Mayat, or can kind of give those who aren't familiar with that site, because I think that's a part of the story too. As the article opened up, like a troubled past of a North Omaha property has finally taken new shape. So this is a new opportunity for community in the area, where again, the owner ran it down. I mean, it was very similar to the Legacy Crossing situation, or the Tommy Rose situation that happened. As far as ownership, letting it run down, people living in deplorable conditions. It's a story of the community that needs to be told as well. And I don't have all the intel, but I do know that story needs to be told.
It's interesting.
Again, those in the chat, if you have some more insight on that, I would definitely love to hear from you.
Whitney Richardson in the chat says, "I hope they don't let developers start buying them up." Does Habitat do that? Or I thought Habitat was strictly like they couldn't do that. They wouldn't be able to do that. Don't know though. Who knows? Pop says, "Yeah, I think the average home in Omaha is $250K." Okay. Tamika Johnson said the land is very marshy. Hopefully the new homes will be built on a good foundation. Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yes. Hopefully. Carolyn Jack says they renamed it Wintergreen in the 2000s. It was Mayat Park first. Started out as a social experiment. So some projects.
Hey, what do you mean? What do you mean by quote unquote social experiment? Please let me know, because again, I'm aware of all these pieces, but let me know, because I do know that there's a story that needs to be told. I'm not exactly sure what it is.
Wanda Lewis in the chat says that at least they're willing to create homeowners instead of renters. That's what they're saying for now, anyways. That's what I'm saying about it too. Like, they're trying to build home ownership. So I go back and forth about it, because I'm not really sure about how that's going to affect the situation. Rick Fulton in the chat, he says George Ecola and Chris Rogers spoke at the Douglas County board meeting yesterday to say how happy they were to be involved with the downtown kids jail. Yeah, we'll get to what they were talking about for sure. On this other thing, I agree with Wanda Lewis with that, because we have been complaining about all these developers that come in and they from out of town even, and build all these apartment complexes everywhere. Got people living on top of each other, and then they're very unaffordable on top of that. So if 170 to 200,000 is a good price for a house, plus it's a Habitat for Humanity situation where you get like a fixed rate and a low interest rate and all that, then maybe it's the thing. Wanda Lewis says the same thing was initially said for the Highlander. I don't know of anyone who was able to buy into that. Oh, they were supposed to buy those? I didn't realize that at all. That woman said, I went there regularly in 99, probably 2001. Yep, there was drama every time in that area. Yeah, that's interesting. She also said a little earlier too, something that struck me, because I was thinking the same thing. Where was it at? I can't find it, but I think Miss Erica Felt was talking about, she kicks herself about not, when the prices were low and you had the money, that she didn't buy something. And it made me remember about the stuff that we were talking about home ownership and everything that's going. Yeah, it's not, well, it was an investment before, but now it's a necessity. The crisis that's been happening with this housing situation, us not being able to find affordable housing, and everything that was going on is making buying land and home ownership now a necessity for you and your family, and not just because not just it's a good thing to do and have an investment. Like, your future depends on whether or not you have some ownership. So I think that's this really interesting stuff to have to consider. You all right out there? You deep in thought?
Yeah, I'm looking through some things. I'm sorry.
Okay. 7:34 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, we're going to bring our special guest in, who's waiting in the wings. We'll be politicking with P with Precious McKesson. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are y'all?
Oh,
Doing
hanging
all right.
in there.
Doing all right.
Yeah, not sure. Not sure how I'm doing. All right, I got not near another wink of sleep last night, but
Man, he
I'm
tired,
here.
boss.
Yeah. I love that y'all are talking about Habitat because I worked at Habitat, and I was only there for a short amount of time before I went to the White House. But I feel like there's some myths that are out here, and one just popped up in the chat. And it kind of bothers me because and I guess it bothers me because I think if you don't go in and see from the inside of how it works, you don't know. And I've talked to Habitat and Amanda, who's the CEO, about this, about the myths and the communication that they should be really telling the stories of Habitat. But I just want to say this, that all homes do not go to immigrants. If they do, you have to understand that people that come over for former refugees or however they come over with no debt income ratio. They have none. So yes, they would be the first ones eligible for that home. But I know that Habitat has changed the method that they're doing that so that no one gets a denial letter. Basically, if you don't meet the certain threshold, they let you then go through a program to where you can rebuild your credit, rebuild everything, and get those different things like collections off your credit to be able to afford to buy a home. And I think that was a frustrating part on a behalf of, that they saw that people were getting denied, and then once they were denied, they never came back. But it was like, how do you bring people who may not have the credit or have the who still have a lot of things on collection on their credit? How do you help them so that they don't discourage and they can become homeowners? And I think that's what they're doing now, is letting them now go to another tier, and then they help them rebuild that, and then they can still be able to be in line to be able to get homes. But I mean, I think that, and that's something that I think Habitat has to tell, is their story more. But again, I noticed it because I used to say the same thing. And when I got in there and started looking at the different qualifications, they end up coming in with no kind of debt. And that's how how many people are able to get homes due to their credit, and they're able to go through faster. Plus, you can't have so much collections. I think it's like, it's something where I think it's like 2,000 maybe. I might be wrong. Don't quote me, but you have to be able to work on that. So yeah, so that's how I feel. That's my personal opinion. And I just feel like, people need to start going in and asking questions, and just don't assume that that's who they all go to, because there's actually a lot of African American people who do get homes from Habitat.
Yeah. Is the program that you're referring to the Almost Home counseling program?
I don't know if it's called the Almost Home. If that's something, it doesn't have a date when it was implemented, because this program that I'm talking about, the tiers, was just being implemented in 21. Because that's was 22. Yeah, so in 21, when they were going through the restructuring of it, because they realized that they were giving, like, people were getting so many denials. They said they wanted to put into, you have tier 1, that's people who can go to getting the credit, going on to purchasing a home. And then tier 2 is some people who didn't have meet the criteria. They went through a program to be able to rebuild that. So I don't know the name of it, because I don't think it had an official name yet, and I haven't looked at it since then.
This is the program offered on the website. I do think this is it. It's under the home ownership. I just wanted to show.
Yes,
you go to Habitat for Humanity website, programs, home ownership, and they'll give you some eligibility information. Again, here is some of the income requirements and things like that. But
while we're on the subject too, I'm looking in the chat. Stuart D. Knight, welcome and thank you for joining us and jumping in the chat today. He was the one that made the comment about the immigrants, and then down the way here, he's saying she dispelled nothing. I'm not sure what that was referring to, but if you're talking to Precious, just remember you're in a conversation, so there is no she. You can talk directly to her. This is a conversation. If you're saying that she didn't dispel anything, then let's go ahead and have a conversation about it. So that's what this is for. I think you're feeling. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And they're not immigrants. These are people who are considered new citizens. So let's have some respect for them. Yes, they do come from another country, but but let's just have a little bit of respect when we talk about people who are new citizens that come to our country because they want to be able to have the American dream. And some people feel like they don't have the American dream. But again, we have to take accountability for why we don't have certain things. And I'm saying that from myself personally. Credit is something that we need to really work on. And we want to purchase homes, then we have to fix what we have going on in our personal life to be able to purchase those homes. Feel that, we do sometimes have a lot of things about generational wealth, that we don't learn as growing up. And so when we get to these ages when we're wanting to purchase homes, these are things that happen. So yeah, I mean, but I don't know, Stuart, but thanks for joining. But I'm not going to go back and forth with somebody who's behind the keyboard. We can always pick up, have a cup of coffee, and have a good conversation. So yes,
we can also have a good conversation within this chat, which is what this show is for, which is why I'm saying that. He's saying that so immigrants who you just wanted to correct that term, get a pass in displacing Black people. I can understand where he's feeling that, if that's what he feels like. Habitat for Humanity goes only to immigrants, but he's also saying nothing against immigrants, but it's in these ways that the Black people who fought for the access get marginalized. I understand where you're coming from with that. I feel like that's a legit. It seems like everybody's getting help but us, in a lot of ways. So, I can feel that, but I'm now we're talking to Precious, who actually worked at Habitat for Humanity and knows the programs, and is telling us that that's really not the case. So, if people from other countries come in and get those places when they don't have any credit and they don't have any debt, and they apply for those places, you're saying that we also can apply for those places, even if our credit or something like that is not all the way together, we still have a chance to take advantage of these programs too. Is that what you're saying by this program? Okay.
Yeah.
And Buddy program. And so I mean, it is a good. I think it's a good program. I think it helps people. Go ahead, Buddy. Sorry about that.
No, you good. We had a conversation about this program when this news first broke about this. I mean, this isn't new. They've been working on this project since like 2020, 2021, as far as revitalizing the Mayat, projects area. And that was reported back then as far as this program. And, we had a whole conversation on the show. People felt like it was a good thing and we would like to see it. And now that it's coming more to fruition, to continue to keep our eyes on it. I do understand where, Mr. Knight is coming from, as far as feeling like there's some things that we don't get that other groups do, whether they've been in this country or new to this country. That's understandable. But yeah, it's not quite the point here.
Yeah, it's all good. Let's move on from what Brother Knight's talking about here. Hold on. I feel like you're being a little argumentative here in the chat. I don't know what you mean by she benefits. So let's just, like I said, if you just remember that we have the you guys are the chat chimers. You guys come in and just treat the chat like it's a conversation, like we were speaking face to face, and that might help the communication out here a little bit. Buddy, could you put that link in the chat for Mama God? Yeah.
And I'm excited about the project.
You're excited about that project over there?
I wanted to ask you specifically. I do know that you said you were kind of a part or in the conversation, not just as a former worker of Habitat for Humanity, but also from your Nona hat. Can you speak specifically to why they picked that area?
Well, at the time that area was still vacated and it hadn't been bought, and I know it was he owned it, and I think they went to them with the project that they wanted to do, and the city of Omaha felt that it was necessary, especially when the housing is needed. And so to be able to redevelop that property, I think it was something that was a beautiful thing. And I think it's because I grew up in that area. I grew 5th and James. I had friends that lived in the old Mayat, so we ride our bikes over through by the dirt road of Wakanda there. I think my first boyfriend lived over there too when I was in high school.
Memory lane.
But yeah, and then I had family that lived over there. My cousins and my uncles. He lived over there. So I think to take and I even said this about 75 North, to take a place that at one time caused pain and had pain, and to redevelop it to something that's beautiful, to create new memories, I think is a thing. But I always stand by, I do want to see people, hardworking people live there, not just, just say, okay, it's like a favoritism thing. So I hope that, and I'm confident that they go through the process that they should go through till someone is eligible. But I know when that kickoff happened, I think they had like an abundance of applications that came in from so many people who want to live over in the Wintergreen area. And I just hope that people who may have lived over there at one time, who have now raised their family or maybe still raising their family, that they have a chance to go back and be able to live, to purchase a home over there. So I always think, I always like to see people who lived in the area that's being transitioned, that they have a chance to go back and enjoy the fruits of the labor that's now happened over in that area.
Well, that makes me wonder, how long has it been since the Mayas and stuff got tore down? How long has that been an empty lot?
Oh, it's been an empty lot for like decades. 10 years, maybe. It's been empty for a while. So it just became a dumping site. And so, once they went in there and cleaned it up. So it was empty for a while. But I mean, I know people had a complaint about how it was sold, because I think it was sold for like $1. I think it was sold I think they sold the land. Yeah, it's a story in there. It's a story in the Omaha World Herald. They sold it for like $1 to them. But I think because of the fact that they know that the development that they're building in there, it's not only going to increase property values for the houses that are over there already, but it's going to bring the community together. When you look at the school and you look at the churches in the area, and if you notice, I literally live like maybe 5 minutes from there. We're starting to see some development that is taking place on Sorensen, like on O'Reilly's is now being built. So we're starting to see some things kind of come up now in that area. I really wish that we would have got a Walgreens a little bit closer. I know at one time they had talked about putting a Walgreens, because sometimes we gotta go all the way up, but you can start to see development happening in that area. All we're missing right there is like a grocery store, honestly. I mean, because the closest grocery store that we have would be Walmart. 72nd Walmart or 72nd and Ames for Bakers.
Which is that's on the whole other side. Yeah. I can see that. But
Walmart is still accessible because it's just right down 52nd.
Yeah, but it could be. I can see a
that Sorensen area looks like a whole. It feels like a whole another section of town, though, kind of.
A little bit, kind of by Nathan Hill.
Get some tacos together.
That's all over though. That's all over.
It's like a war zone going down there. You tear your whole car up. Yes, it's horrible.
Well, it's definitely something to look at. I like I said, the first thing I asked was how much. And they're talking about $180,000 to $200,000 homes. It seemed like a lot to me for the way them homes was looking. They're just looking kind of small. So I was just like, that's a little bit of a. But everybody in the chat is trying to tell me that's a good price for a home in Omaha right now. Pop says medium was $250. So everybody says 180 to 200 ain't bad, and I do like the fact that it's single family homes. It's not more apartments over there,
Reach out to Tracy McPherson. She's their communications person, and her and Amanda Buer. I bet you they'll come on and talk about the Wintergreen project, and I think it's called Blue Spring.
Blue Stem Prairie.
Yeah, Blue Stem Prairie. Definitely reach out to them. I know they'll love to come on and talk to you about this the project. Again, like I said, it took me to go in to be there, and I was only there for a month and before I left and went to the White House. But yeah, definitely
85 new homes, $25 million of affordable housing development in Omaha. Where'd the $25 million come from? Do you know any details?
I saw a breakdown of that. Here you go, right here.
Oh, they're trying to really be transparent, huh? Okay. What are we looking at here?
That's the $25 million. This is the breakdown.
And I think they actually purchased some more land. I think it's an addition to it. So I think since this has happened, I think there's an addition to this part. So I think it's going to be a little bit more homes. So definitely reach out to Tracy.
Okay. Yeah, we can definitely do
I
that.
always tell them that they need to tell the story of Habitat. You know, we have to tell you have to tell the story that what of the good things that are happening so that people know and then people can figure out how they can get a part of it.
Yeah. I hear that. Appreciate that. Appreciate your insights on that. You came in right on time with that information. So,
looks like we lost her.
There she is.
Okay.
That was my bad. I hit the wrong button. Sorry about that. In the chat, Mama God says this one way in one way out of a situation. I live in that neighborhood association, and we have been presented with plans to add several new streets for multiple access to the proposed development. Okay.
Yeah,
It will be. It will be. There's going to be
that'll be good.
It's going to be exits, I think, on Mary Street. So you'll have several entrances because if you go, there's one street that's over there that's a one way that ends, but you'll have actually different entrances into it, which I think is good. So it won't be one way in, one way out anymore. That was the most dangerous part.
I used to live over there, and the worst part is right over there. Like Mama God is saying it in the chat. You used to live off the east end. You remember Turkey Gang? You remember Turkey Gang, Paul? That's where Turkey Gang hang out. It's the Wintergreen area, the Maya area. The Turkey Gang took it over.
Hey, we call them the Maya turkeys from now on.
Man, but that neighborhood. Yep, and deer. That neighborhood, there's about 12 houses at the bottom of a hill, in a cul-de-sac. So it's a dead end at the bottom of the hill. So anytime we had snow, anytime we had inclement weather, nobody on that block could go to work. Nobody could get off. Like you remember those days I would tell you, like, bro, I'm stuck. I can't go anywhere. Yeah. I would have to literally park up the hill and walk up the hill and around the corner just to get to where I needed to go. Because of that area. So those streets being added, that development being created in that area directly impacts that. So, had I still been living over there, this would be music to my ears.
Carolyn Jack says,
oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm saying the neighbors are happy about it,
Yeah.
The neighbors, they're because again, their property values are going to go up because of this development. So they're now seeing their labor, because for so long all that was back there that was just but now they're about to see that.
Carolyn Jack cracks me up in this. She says it was horrible. I lived on the corner house on the street leading to the empty lot, dumping like crazy and wild Keenum with the animals. I had to move.
Let me find out. You used to live across the street from me, Carolyn Jack. Hey. Let me find out. And you too, Tamika Johnson. That's the area, Huntington. I used to live right on Huntington Street.
That's crazy. Stuart Knight says Maya used to be an upscale area until they started taking Section 8.
So, It did.
Did not know
it
that.
did. It used to be an upscale apartments back in the day. A lot of whites lived in that area, lived in those. It was an upscale area. And then it became as people began to move from further north and started to come west. And they ended up becoming low income housing. Yeah, he's right.
Interesting stuff. That's some of the story. So, he's giving us a little bit of the story. This afterwards became a drug murder haven. Wow. Yeah, I did hear a lot of crime was going on in there. Crime, drugs utilized by white supremacy, is he saying? For sure. Also, Chrissy Norris saying, does she have Kate or Mandy do energy? We're having a conversation over here. I'm gonna get into that. The little history, Buddy was talking about a little history on the area. I know that area became just like how a lot of areas in our neighborhoods happen, they just kind of get abandoned. You know what I'm saying? And nothing happens there for years and years. So I agree with you, Precious. It's a positive thing. This stuff is going on here, and I'm really, really impressed that it's single family homes and not apartments, because that just happens too much with us all the time. So. Right on. Well, thank you for everybody's comments on this, and we'll definitely keep talking about those situations and any more affordable housing situations that happen around the city. We politicking with P right now. Precious McKesson, we call her History of Making P. Put some respect on her name. It's 7:54 right now in Omaha, Nebraska. If you believe in the concept of time, what else is on your mind in the world of local politics, Miss McKesson?
So I have not been. Look, the legislature is going down. It's like I don't know what's going down there, but I know today they have. Look, I know today I started steering my tea when you said that. Have a
you about to put us in the sunken place with all that stirring of the tea. What's going on with the legislation?
So today, I know they have the bill that will be introduced, will be in the committee, which is an anti-trans bill. Many people are going down to testify in opposition, and I encourage people, to support, the members of the LGBT community, because again, not only do we have legislation that is attacking our education, but we are attacking our rights, attacking children's rights, attacking Black and brown community. So that's one of the things I've been following. Oh man, hold on, y'all.
You're breaking up a little bit. You got close.
Oh, did I break up? Look at me. Can you hear me though still?
Yeah, that's better.
Oh, okay. I'm like, okay. But one thing I have, the issue I had was last week. Senator Kauth, I don't know if I said her name wrong, but she was real disrespectful to Dr. Logan. Dr. Logan had went down and she testified. And I have a real issue. I watched the video again because I ain't never seen nothing like this. It's a level of respect. We may not, but what you don't do, you just don't cut off, especially a Black woman when she's about her experiences. And I had to go look this woman up to see like what is her career field in, because I wanted to see if she was a teacher. I just wanted to see, and she's not. She has no education background other than the school and other than what she went to college. But the way that these senators are getting in these spaces, and we know that the same thing happened with what it did happen will happen when the senator made a very racially motivated comment, or it just wasn't just it's just horrible. And so I just feel like, we have to call them out no matter who they are. I don't care who they are. I mean, literally, I don't care who they are. But for some reason, it's just the fact that, we're in more and more disrespect when it comes to when you have, especially Black women. I'm just gonna say it. We have coming in talking, and we have so much respect and so much pushback. But it's like we're the most disrespected and unprotected things in this world. We are, and I mean, I experience it all the time. And I'll tell a story. I was at the Nancy event last week, and I turn around and say something, and this man out of nowhere like shushed me, and it was quiet. It shushed me, and before I knew it, I went off. Nancy Pelosi up on the stage.
Oh man, anybody got any video of that? I want to see that.
Who are you talking to? And I didn't say who are you talking to. I added a little bit more to it. And it took Jane couldn't even believe it. She just put her head down. She was like, "Oh shoot!" Like, because no one unexpected that to come out of my mouth. But I'm serious. It's just the level of disrespect. And so I just feel like we need to continue showing up, testifying in opposition or testifying in support of bills that we know are impacting communities that are causing harm. And we just got to show up. And I know that we, especially today, going down, there's these groups that are going to be protesting all these different things. And we just got to make sure that this is a safe space for anybody who is down and how they identify. They are still human. And I just hope everybody remembers that. We don't have to agree. You don't have to agree. But at the end of it, they're very much so human. So, yes.
I got to tell you, I saw a bunch of my friends on Facebook posted about this individual who got beaten to near death and left for dead. Trans woman.
Yeah, I saw that yesterday.
And it just is sickening because, like, you don't need to be. I mean, just we just had to deal with watching this young Black man get beat to death by these cops. Beaten to death is a different is a shot is one thing. Beaten to death is something else. And for them to do that, shake this community. I mean, right on the heels of this bill, all the stuff going on, it's gonna be fiery up there with the protesting and stuff like that, for real.
Did that happen? Where did that happen? This is my first time hearing about that situation.
I was just trying to find the post. I think I just found it, as a matter of fact. So it's let's see. Yesterday morning, downtown Omaha, on the street, she was beaten, left to die. Major surgery overnight and is currently recovering. Very well known individual here in the community as well. So so many people are very, very, very upset about this. And I'm hesitating because there's parts of this post and story that they're saying don't spread. They don't want told. They don't want everybody to know certain parts of this because they're worried about their own safety right now. They're fearing for their life right now. That somebody can go back into the hospital and try to finish the job. They know where they. Well, you know what I'm saying? Like there's some seriously messed up stuff. Before I let the chat get too away from me too much, I just want to jump into the chat real quick. Thank you for being there, Precious, and for all you do here to raise awareness to important issues. Marianne Williams says, Christy Norris says one of our brown trans sisters was beaten and left paralyzed this past weekend. Christy Nor, I know you're on it, so I appreciate the news. That woman says just 2 nights ago in Omaha, a trans woman was left for dead in the snow behind her job. The police and news are ignoring this hate crime. I did not hear this on the news. I did not read this in the newspaper. This has been...
Me neither.
Well, I just want to so Quinncia Frazier, I saw last night when I was looking through Facebook, I did see that she had commented on somebody's, on one of the young lady's friends' post, and she had asked if she could reach out to them from the media. So I don't know. I know that the media had contact with someone close to. Saw that specifically on a post that was being shared because Quinncia Frazier had asked. She said she was from KT, she could speak to them. So I don't know if it's going to be a story coming up soon, but I did see that she did reach out.
But here's my point. This reminds me of how a lot of the stories that we talk about here before it hits the news for Black folks. This is this is how the media treats some of these types of things. We know about it on Facebook before it's going to be on the news, which is crazy. It's really our network that's talking to each other to even know folks and bring these things up. So really unfortunate. We'll definitely keep our eye on it. And it might be something that we need to really kind of help, put some action in place here and see if we can do anything to help this situation out. Because I can't imagine anybody in my family getting beaten and left for dead somewhere like
in
that.
the snow. Like just,
yeah.
Jumping back into the chat real quick about the legislature, Jillian Post says concerning all the slippery, slimy places of pieces of legislature trying to be pushed through. Here's a little known fact: the live testimony date is posted for all. Of course, however, part 2 coming.
There you go.
Also, she said she was talking about the person that you. Where is that at? I can't.
I should disable the chat for the for people who are on, baby.
They're going off. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. Whitney Richardson in the chat.
Love the chat timers. I love y'all. I love y'all.
Are they getting down in? Okay. Hey, they're taking care of business. That's what they're here to do as well. That's what's up.
Senator McKinney did put the chat though about the police reform bill today.
I wanted to mention that too, because that was kind of the big bill that I was thinking of leading up to today. Shout out to Senator McKinney pushing the bill for the Brady Giglia list. This is something that we definitely need. Of course, we need protection for everybody in the community as far as the opposing the anti-trans bill. But also in addition, definitely keep in mind that this Brady Giglia bill is out there. And
if people don't know what that means, what that bill is, basically it's a bill that basically releases everybody's information if they have ever been a part of any type of disciplinary actions, anything like coming from another law enforcement agency coming to the other. And that's something that we need, because people have to be able to know. No police officer should be able to, and I think this happened in another state. I mean, I know I read stories, but I don't be like, oh, I need to go make sure I go to this city and find out. But I know it happened in a small town on the East Coast. I think it was in Connecticut and Rhode Island or something. They're like connected. And I guess this police officer had a lot of racial different things, was giving out these different tickets. Well, they ended up pushing him out, and then he went to the next town over after they had, talked about that she shouldn't be a police officer, and he had to become a police officer in another jurisdiction.
Right.
So we have to, we can't allow that. I mean, that's happened in Nebraska, where people could jump from being an Omaha police officer to going to being a sheriff, If you have any type of disciplinary action against you, you should not be able to lose one job, one place, and then go to another one and continue that harm to people.
Yeah. I want to give a shout out to Brother McKinney for coming into the chat and reminding us about that, getting us back on track. We're definitely going to try to call some folks and remember what we're talking about. We need to have bodies in the place in order to really kind of help the situation out. So if anybody's going up, let us know. If we can help arrange some of that, let us know for sure. And again, really appreciate you. And that's a very important bill. We all want to see that. There's no reason why police shouldn't be held accountable, and there should be an accountability there. It is 8:06 right now, if you believe in the concept of time. And we've got another special guest waiting in the wings. We're going to go ahead and bring her in. We're going to be seeing what's good in the hood with Miss Kimara Snipes. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. How are you doing this morning?
Good morning. Good morning, Precious. Good morning, y'all.
Good morning. Before we get started with you, I want to jump back into the chat real quick and just let some folks know this is a chat and a place that we're going to be very respectful to each other when we're talking, even if we have differences of opinion. Difference of opinion is fine, but this is not the place to come in and be argumentative. You may not be used to this chat, but this chat follows what we're all talking about and contributes to those conversations, and not tries to come in and take over the conversation with your beliefs. You're an author. You've written your book, so we'll read that if we want to hear more on that. But please, if you're going to be here, try to follow our lead a little bit on the way that we're trying to direct the conversations, and add to that if you can, with being respectful, and hopefully the rest of the chat chimers that are kind of shutting your ideas down right now can be respectful as well. We can all be respectful, and I just want to remind that. And if things get too out of hand, we are not the public news here. We will just block stuff and block folks and all that kind of stuff if it gets out of hand. So we just want to let everybody know that. Just want to keep it cool. So appreciate that. Ronnie's going to do that on his own anyway. So that's what's up, Bo. Appreciate it. I hear you. But it's also, just remember, like, when you're commenting, I appreciate you saying, I only speak the truth, no offense.
I've never been called a what did he call me? Oh my gosh, I got a intersectional feminist or something. Wow.
Oh, I missed that. I missed some of that. Yeah. So again, we're kind of directing the conversation here. We want to try to keep on track, and work hard on that. So that's if you can help us do that, then we appreciate that. And like I said, we appreciate everybody's opinion. We just want to make sure that we're all respectful, and this is our show. Help us follow our lead on what we're talking about here, and try to contribute that way. In the meantime, between time, thank you, Kimara Snipes, for getting up and coming through. I see you were over at the headquarters again, so I appreciate you.
Yeah, I barely made it. I said, look at me and Precious in our black and white hoodies.
Man.
Yes.
I missed the memo.
With the word black on it.
With the word black on it. See, we didn't even talk to each other about this. Look, we know.
They didn't know we called each other.
That's right. Black on black on black on black. That's what's up. Appreciate it. What's going on with you, Kimmer? First of all, how you doing? How's your self-care, mental health? How's your life? How's your son? What's going on with you?
My son is amazing. I keep telling everybody, it is so wonderful to have an adult child that is super logical and likes taking care of his mama. I'm telling you, it is a beautiful thing. But it makes me proud because you know, I'm never one who likes to take credit for anything. And people are always like, girl, you always giving God the glory. You raised them, you know, but I'm just grateful that my son is who he is. I'm grateful he wants to be a teacher. He said he don't want to teach history though, but that's okay with me. So I'm just really grateful. I have a great son. So he's doing amazing. He works at Creighton. He's the only Black person that does the job he does at Creighton, which is something. But anyway, me and self-care, you know, I was thinking about it before I came on. I said, they're going to ask me about self-care.
You know,
I know they are. So I was thinking to myself, well, I have to do something so I can start getting in the habit. So that way, when you ask me, I can have something good to say.
Routine.
I don't really have nothing good to say today. The last few weeks been a little crazy, but I'm thinking about it much more than I even thought about it before. So me and White Shell was talking about starting to go to the gym. You know, I've been thinking about, you know, my staff. I went from having no direct reports to like 8. And so I've really been thinking about leading by example. And I'm like, ooh, I'm not doing a good job of that. So I need to really, really think about it so I can think about it for them too, because this work is taxing. Did you hear me? It is taxing. So
yeah. One second. Precious, were you trying to chime in there real quick?
I'm responding on the chat.
Oh,
I don't know who Ghost Listener 402 is. I don't know who Ghost Listener 402 is, but they asked a question, and I just always want to clarify. I have very good white ally friends who always have my back no matter what, and they will check anybody who disrespects me. Just because I don't go through the whole things happen doesn't mean. But just know, Jane Klebb always got my back, and yes, Mr. Sir was checked by not only by Nebraska, by the state of Pennsylvania's delegation also. But yes.
I want to.
I'm done reading the chat. I'm done reading the chat.
No, I mean,
I was say we don't stop reading that chat.
Don't play with me. Don't play with me. Don't play with me.
I'm trying to see the footage of you going off. That's all I want. I just
it really wasn't. It really was kind of like, you know, I'm back far, and I really didn't like go like I just said before I knew it. I was like, who are you telling to who are you shushing? And everybody, I mean, and I did not realize how loud it was.
Yeah.
But people did. I mean, I think everybody was shocked. They put their head down real quick, but they would check him. You know, it's like, hey, you just don't tell women to say that. But again, I don't know who Stuart is, but Stuart don't know who I am and is really trying to come for me this morning. And I just can't ignore it. But Stuart, you can always pick up the phone and call me 402-378-2034. I don't know who you are, but let's have a talk, because for some reason this morning you coming for me, and baby, I'm with all of it. Okay.
And I'm gonna go ahead and suggest that you do that because you're actually kind of disrupting the show right now.
Right.
And I don't want to have to block you. So if
I come with a strong,
you come in on my time.
I come with a strong Black backing.
If you got people that you got a problem with that you need to talk to, it probably needs to be on your own time, not the show time. So I appreciate it very much if you would go ahead and contact Precious in
drop my number in that chat. Drop it in there. My number is public. Give me a call.
Yeah. Right on. So yeah, appreciate your efforts. I hear you. You just might not be used to how we do things here. This is a different kind of show. And so trying to give you the benefit of the doubt here, but yeah, it is getting a little out of hand here with the way it's disrupting the show. I'm sorry, buddy. Go ahead.
Hey, I want to speak to it because I'll be candid. This is my father-in-law. This is my wife's father.
Oh, so
yeah. So I feel some kind of way if I do feel like I need to speak on something, but just.
I knew I was trying to be respectful because we don't know who we know around here. You know what I'm saying?
But that's the thing. We don't know who we know, and we're all a family here. Yeah. We're all a family here.
Exactly.
We're all a family here, so we're going to respect each other. And I will say,
hold on, Precious. Hold on. Let Buddy speak on this.
Let me just speak real quick because, of course, this is distracting from the show, but this is a part of the show because the point of this show is for a community to come together to have conversation to get things done. That's the whole point of this. So we have to teach each other how to talk because we don't know, because we don't get anything done in the community. So this, and I want to acknowledge Mr. Stewart, you're new here, but what you're saying isn't completely wrong. If you do your research, Michelle has addressed feminism and the impacts it has on our community in the past. Everybody here knows that because everybody here watches the show. You're new here. That's understandable. You're not wrong, but this ain't the time or the place. And this ain't that.
Yeah, it's just not the way. People are usually used to going on chats and being real argumentative behind the keyboard and all that. This is actually a different kind of chat that we have. We actually call them the chat chimers. This is actually the First Sky family. If we had more windows, a lot of these people who are in the chat would probably just be in here talking, but this is the way that we choose to do it. So this is a different kind of chat. It's not that kind of trolly kind of situation that happens on every other chat. And so yeah, I appreciate that. Like I said, appreciate that you have your thoughts and opinions and the things that you're trying to say. This is just a way we're just trying to figure out how we can do that without being disrespectful and disruptive. So appreciate that very much. And I appreciate you, buddy. Like I said, I'm gonna give you the time to say the room to say what you want to say. I knew that he had been on before, but I forgot that was family. You know what I'm saying? So,
the thing is, because I know Mr. Stewart used to be a former Black Panther. So that's history. That's a voice that's valuable in this space. But everybody's voice is valuable in this space, and we have to learn as a community, as humans, to have discourse to get things done.
Yeah. I like the other day somebody got on who was a little bit argumentative too and said something about am I trying to shut something down so that the white folks don't see us arguing, and I wanted to address that too, because no, that's absolutely not the case. We just have a different style of discussing things. We don't have to I don't care about white folks seeing how I do anything. I'm just talking about how it is that I want to try to do it and want to try to do it here on this show, which is to have a different kind of dialogue when we disagree. We can speak differently and figure out how to hear each other better than just spouting off stuff and arguing with each other. So we're all kind of used to the kind of arguments that you have in media. We're used to the way that happens, but this ain't that. So I don't want to keep on moving past that. I appreciate it very much, and I definitely want to hear more from you, bro. Like after Buddy saying what he's saying, I want to hear more from you. Maybe it is a kind of a situation where it's better off if we speak in person. Not sure, but I respect that you have that you're an author, that you've written some books. I respect what Buddy's saying about you being a Black Panther, you being an elder, all those things. Is the reason why I'm trying to be very respectful here. But I do got to say, there's a lot of people are trying to tune in here, and we're trying to get to some points. So being disruptive in here just ain't gonna work in here. So I appreciate if you understand that. And respect, bro. Like I said, respect to everyone.
So with that, let's respect the time of these sisters
respect
and
the time of the sisters right now. Exactly. Yep.
Right. Let them get to it.
Kimara, I appreciate you coming on. Are you headed up to the legislature today?
Actually, no, I'm not. But I did want to talk about the political summit whenever y'all have a chance.
That is what we want to get into next. Definitely political summit. I appreciate your posts, and I was excited to hear what was going on. So tell us.
One thing that strikes me as I listen to this conversation is one of the things that both Buddi3 Da Gawd and Cliff Albright talked about, and that is conflict. Talked about conflict, and the thing about it is we are all human, and conflict is going to exist. And I'm not even talking about this situation that just happened, because one, I ain't even been looking in the chat because I've been avoiding it. But just in communities, period, there's a lot of conflict. I had a really great conversation. I feel like a non-biased conversation with Cliff Friday, just about Omaha. There's conflict in every community, and I think that, personally, I think a lot of that conflict has been set up by, systems of white supremacy, funders, just different things that exist, right? And so they talked about conflict and how, when conflict happens, we want to run from it, right? But one of the things they talked about is how we need to lean into it and to have conversations. And so, even as we say that, I think about this space, and I think that this is a place for that. But you know, I ain't gonna lie, I even told Preston before the political summit happened, I was like, Preston, who's gonna be here? You know, because we getting tired of having forums and it's the same old people showing up, and you know what I'm saying, we trying to get people to vote, and everybody who comes, we just preaching to the choir. What's gonna happen? What are we doing?
Kimara, you crack me up with that, because that's how black folks do all the time. Yeah, who's gonna be there though? Who's gonna be there?
I'm just saying though, you know, because look, man, we take this work serious, and being in a position through my job and having resources to be able to do this work, you know, I treat my work money like I do my own pocket. I'm stingy, I'm frugal. I want to make sure we're doing stuff the right way. And so, you know, Preston and I had great conversations. He has Crystal Fox working for him. I'm telling you, we had some really good conversations, and I saw the intent and the strategy. And so, you know, he started it off with data, which I love. And he just talked about, you know, also how there's been a lack of investment in North Omaha for like 50 years, just straight economic devastation, right? Yeah. He talked about how the Black community has just consecutively voted worse just every year. And when we don't vote, how that dissipates our leverage. And so we had some breakout sessions by different types of groups, grassroots. My grassroots group was so big, I had to split it in two. They had a Black church and the vote group. They had a youth vote group. They had these different groups, and we had different questions. And I enjoy being a facilitator because I love pulling information from people. And, you know, we pulled a lot of really great information, and all this information that was pulled is going to then be put into a strategic plan. And Preston has established this sort of task force. And I believe Beeee, what is his name? Beeee. Oh God, Beeee. He used to work for OPS, like a sci-fi.
Thomas.
My mind went blank. He's going to be leading that strategic plan, and so people have the opportunity to sit on that. Buddi3 Da Gawd spoke that morning, and I was highly upset at myself because I didn't have my notebook, but that's okay. But she was amazing, y'all. Let me tell you something. This woman who ran for governor of Iowa, this Black woman, man, I'm just, you know, it was just amazing to hear from her. And she's a phenomenal speaker too. Like, she's one who can get you energized, and the community needs to be energized, right? But she spoke eloquently, and the biggest thing I grabbed from her was also the conversation about that conflict. I did have my notebook when Cliff spoke over the lunch. The breakfast was also 7:45 in the morning. So that's where Buddi3 spoke, and it was early for all of us. But when Cliff spoke, he talked about how, you know, we're all just kind of have this apathy when it comes to voting. You know, we're sick and tired of these folks showing up at our door, you know, and we really had church that day. But the main points that he talked about was one, when it comes to why people don't vote. And he said we have to recognize the importance of love and power, and that power, and I think we've had this conversation before, is not a dirty word. He said power without love is reckless and abusive, but love with power is sentimental. And it was some word he said. I'm going to call him and ask him what that word was, because I was writing it down, but I couldn't get it. But anyway, that was the first point. He said it's okay to want power, and it's okay to say that we want it. And part of getting our power is to voting. The second thing he talked about was, you know, we all have a role. And we have to show that we do. And we're not just, it's not just about being an object, but a subject, and that we all play a role in our liberation as well. And then he said, you can't shame people into voting. You know, quit shaming people into voting because they haven't been participating in this process. And he spoke about young people and how, you know, a lot of people said, we got to get young people engaged. We got to get young people engaged. But, you know, he was right. When you look at the past few years, you talk about protests and all these different things. And I go back to the conversation I have about civic health and how I talk about non-voting behaviors, right? Young people have been engaged, you know, and so he was just highlighting that. So it was a really great, it was just really good. And I left super duper energized. And now my only question I need to ask Press is like, how are we going to maintain this momentum? But I definitely have ideas, and most of it is through relational organizing. Yeah, it was powerful, man. If y'all, you should have been there, but that's okay. There's going to be some stuff in the future you can participate in. If you could have been there, it would have been nice to be there, I should say.
Yeah. That's one of the ones this week that I was like, I hate that I'm missing that. Work.
He also has some stuff to say about just Omaha in general, especially when he came here early because of the housing issues, which shows you that this brother is an organizer for real, right? He cared enough to come here early to see what was going on. And I'm going to just remind the community, like, this is an opportunity to organize people as we talk about energizing people and organizing people. These housing issues that exist are definitely opportunities to organize people. I hate to talk about opportunities in times of like trial, you know what I'm saying? But you have to seize them. When I teach my organizers, that's one of the things I teach them. I said, you have to learn how to recognize when there's opportunities to organize, and there is one there. And he also talks about, I told him about the housing developments going on, like with 75 North, like with what's happening in my old neighborhood, and how they're building all these models based off of Atlanta. And he's like, it's a bad idea. You should not do it. Come down here and let's talk. So I'm just out there what the brother said. I've had my, and again, I got involved in this process with South Omaha back in like 2016. I went and tore some doors down. Yeah. And I just, the way that people have interacted with me, it's very hard for me to be trustful of the process. And having family who lived in Hilltop and people who lived in Vietnam, when I hear about just the displacement of people, which has always been my only concern, what's going to happen to people, I just don't feel like I'm getting an answer that I'm comfortable with as far as what's going to happen to them.
I hear that. Let me jump in here real quick. 8:26 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, we are with Kimara Snipes, What's Good in the Hood, and Precious McKesson. We politicking with P, who has a quick little update. I wanted to let her jump in. She says she got an update on somebody that she met with the OPPD. So before you get out of here, you want to go ahead and jump in? Yep.
Yes, before I get out here, and I'm so sad that I missed Saturday. I mean, I was really hoping that we was done early at the DNC, but work call. So, but I'm really, the comment I got was, oh my gosh, it should have been in a bigger space because it's a lot of people here. And I'm like, that's what's up. I'm glad that we showed up. Now we know that people are very much so engaged. So yeah, next time it will be at a bigger, because we know the people are wanting. So I'm just really excited for the outcome that came. And Kimara's right. You always ask who won't be in the building, because if it's the same folks, since we're spending all this money, talk to the same people. We need to talk to new people. So it was the pictures, the new people. And Deja Jazier, I mean, I just love her especially when she ran for Secretary of State in Iowa, and then she came back and ran for governor. So I'm really hoping that she runs again. But she's really good people. But the update I had yesterday, there's a North Omaha, ad hoc group that Preston and myself, Miss Cheryl Weston, and a few others in the community involved in. And I know we have been talking about we've been hearing about the OPPD coal plan. And it has been a big discussion. And so yesterday, we had a meeting with a sit down with the CEO of OPPD, as well as his officials some officials in his department with OPPD, in the organization. And the main discussion to have was to talk about how can OPPD be better at communicating with the community. But my main focus was asking for us to have a hard stop. Like, when is that coal plant going to be shut down? Because we do know that in North Omaha, we have very much so high rates of kids with asthma, families with health conditions. And, it's just things that we need to be talking about. So yesterday we had that conversation. Can't give an exact date, but the goal, oh my gosh, now I sound like, now I feel like my notebook.
They keep lying about it though. They keep on giving us a date and pushing it back.
So this is the thing. That was the main point of me saying, like, you cannot say it's going to happen on this and then you push it back. So what the board did, the board came in and basically they are looking at no later than December of 2026. That is, they can't give me the exact date, but that is the goal, is no later than December 2026 that coal plant will be shut down. Now, my question is that if 3 of them were already done, show us the data. That's one thing about us that we're learning. I think since people's like, show me the numbers. What has happened? Have you been working with Douglas County Health Department since you shut down those other three? How can we see the numbers of what has happened in the health rates? You know, when it comes to asthma, have we seen a decrease in kids with asthma? Do we have these different things? You know, and so those are the questions I asked for yesterday. Like, show me the data that shows what has happened since the three have been gone, even though we still have this one. But then also a conversation that we had, and I'll just tell you, there's no air monitors in North Omaha to talk about the quality of air. I think the closest one to the plant is like maybe 2 miles away. And so that was another question that we had. Like, we need to have more air quality monitors in North Omaha. There's funds from the EPA, from the federal government that they can apply for to be able to get these things. But then also, we need to see. This was kind of funny. I had to say this because I thought it was funny when they said it. I said, why we hear about the rate increases all the time on the news. You hear about, that's the first thing they talk about. Oh, your rate, your OPB bill is going up. But we never hear about the quality of air unless it's really hot outside and the weather people say, okay, the quality of air, you can't be outside because, you know, it's going to be too hot. So I asked him, I said, why can't y'all invest in giving us announcements of when the air quality is bad so parents know when their kids shouldn't be outside in these areas near this plant? Because we know that it doesn't impact the kids like that are so close because they're right over. Once the wind blows, it goes further. And they were like, the man said, oh, well, there is things like that on the Douglas County Health Department. Sir, people don't have time to get up every morning and look at the Douglas County Health Department. You can invest some money and put it on the bottom of the news where the time is. When they say what time it is and the temperature is, you can have something on there that says air quality alert. You know, like this is this. So I feel that we got a lot out of it. It was an hour conversation. But again, there's money out there. It is so much stuff that we can be doing. And they're having a forum on February 21st, and it will be at the Florence Community Center. And I think Kimara, is it 5:30 or 7:30?
I don't remember the time, but I did put it on their first. But I did put it on y'all First Sky page yesterday, I think.
Cool. So it's on. I did see that. It is on their page, but definitely come out. And like I told them, we have to do better of communicating, but you also have to do better of the organizations that are in these communities and talk to them so that we can be able to disseminate that information. But again, you know, they've always been good partners with Nona, with the the things they're doing, but we still got to do better because we just can't say, hey, I'm a partner, my name is on this, and I show up. But there's other issues that we got to keep them done, so keep them in part of it. So soon we'll be coming out with some stuff, but definitely I just want to talk about that just to let y'all know, like I explained to them, it's not that we're coming in to bash them or to be negative. We're coming in questions that people can't get in to these meetings, and we're being the voice for those who are not at the table. So Javier, who is their CEO, was very receptive. But we did the main conversation was that y'all need to listen and stop doing all the talking.
Love it. Thanks for the update on that. Yeah, appreciate the update on that. Again, it's at 8:32 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, got about a half an hour left in the show. I did want to jump in the chat real quick. Precious, were you waving? Are you taking off?
No, go ahead. I didn't know if you want to answer the question. Go ahead.
Say it again.
No, go ahead.
Just wanted to jump in the chat real quick. A couple of things that you guys are talking about there. Appreciate you guys in the chat for sure. Let me go up a little bit to where I saw. Yeah. Tracy Shot in the chat. Appreciate you over here on YouTube. She said this show in chat gives me more preparation than anything else when I go to fight over here. Thanks. That's one of our goals. I just want to speak on that real quick because that's one of our goals. We definitely are in the room with like-minded individuals, learning the language so that we can go out and battle with it. That's kind of what this show is for too. So we appreciate that. Also, moving on, I was Whitney Richardson was talking about missing that meeting. Yeah, I'm sorry I missed that too. T. Rinson, combating resignation among the masses of disenfranchised communities when constantly beat down politically and economically is so challenging. It is, and I will say this too about that. And Ronnie Shields can attest to this. He's my brother out in California. The place that we grew up, San Bernardino. It's in bankruptcy right now. The city is so jacked up that I look at what's going on here in Omaha, and I'm thinking, thank God for Kimara Snipes and Precious McKesson and folks that are working, because things can get a lot worse around here. I come from a place where things got a lot worse. And there was so much corruption in local government and stuff like that. It was just so blatant and so crazy that it was like another Detroit. It went bankrupt and everything. So things can get worse. Things we actually are doing pretty well when it comes to certain other cities. But it's only because of all this work that everybody's doing. So I really appreciate everybody doing that as well. Lots in the chat. I'm not going to read it all, but I appreciate you guys coming on in. I do want to say, Miss Erica Felt is we haven't talked about the child care issue a lot lately anyway, but she says, as a child care provider, I check the air quality each day before going outside, and when I told parents the air quality is why we didn't when I told parents the air quality is why we didn't go out. Parents are confused and ask how I know. It should be more. They can OPPD can hit us up. We'll put a ticker at the bottom of this show that talks about the air quality.
We can get it done for y'all. We're gonna work with everybody. It's two people in this community that can pass the message.
There you go. Very true. Very true. So yeah, appreciate that, everybody in the chat. Keep on going on, man. Like I said, I can't. Today is one of these days with the chat. Can't read it all, but definitely go back and check it out. If you missed any parts of the show, you can always go back and watch the show in its entirety on Facebook or YouTube. And when you do, check out the chat, because that's definitely part of the show for sure. Also, Kimara was saying, I want to get back to you, Kimara, while you're here too. Some tips on how people can be supportive to the organizations. Love to hear about this, because that's what we're on now. We're definitely on some action points. What can we do?
Yeah,
not being combative.
And so, and this is like my nonpartisan brain, okay, when we're just talking about just the voting process and everything. One is talk to your people, right? The biggest thing is just having conversations. I know we talk about it, but I'm very serious, like intentionally sit down and have a conversation with your people. If you want discussion points, reach out to me. I'm going to give Paul my email and all of that. There are things that we can talk about. Number two, you can help us build a volunteer base. Just offer to volunteer. The biggest thing about participating in this process is direct voter contact, period. There's mailers, there's all this other stuff, but ultimately it's direct voter contact. And in order to be able to do that, you have to knock doors. And to be able to do that, you got to have people who can do it. One of the things I'm talking to our members is about, we have to find a way to celebrate our volunteers, and maybe even through this civic engagement fund that we have, we can talk about utilizing some of that funding to pay volunteers. Because Denise from Pro Georgia told me straight up, you're gonna have to pay your volunteers, and that's just a real conversation. Find out who these organizations are. Preston Love and what he is doing. The Nebraska table is definitely supporting this process, both through planning and through funding, but also he's creating a collaboration of different organizations. There are organizations out here who need your support. The League of Women Voters, Black Voters Matter, Heartland Workers Center. All of these organizations need some type of support. And then we have to find a way to reach our young people. And I think that's a simple way for people to get involved. I'm going to put my email is Kimara, Kimara, at nebraskatable.org. We're getting ready to start creating a timeline for 2024 at work. And part of that is also being supportive through that plan. So those points I gave you are really coming from the organizing plan I put together for the state, but it applies to here locally as well. So find out who some of these nonprofits are you can get involved with. Help by volunteering. Have conversations with your people and make sure they having conversations with their people too. And then show us where the young people are so we can go find them and bring them into the conversation. One thing that we're going to be talking about at the table, though, is just kind of duplicating what Preston did in other parts of the rural communities as well. I'm telling you, to be able to grab that information from young people and all these different groups was just really, really powerful. So
that's what's up. Appreciate it, ladies. I want to let you get the last word before you guys get out of here. We are coming up on the end towards the end of the show, so I want to let you get going about your day. But give us some last words, Precious. Where you at? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
Feeling like shushing anybody?
No, actually, I'm feeling good. Last productive for me. As you look, I finally, talked about the mental health thing, my anxiety. I've been talking publicly about it, but it's getting better. I'm learning to channel it, like letting it, like laughing off things now, and knowing that I can't control how people feel about me. I can only do what I do best, and that's do the work. And so I feel good, and just really trying to, again, continue my path and not letting nobody stop that. But I just want everybody to always remember that, you always talk about the self-care. Put yourself first, because your obituary will be running with your job to replace the same newspaper. That's how
Yep.
Yep. He'll be running at the same time because the show got to continue, So again, just be good to yourself and make sure, you just take care of yourself. And I appreciate people telling me to do that. So, and there is something in there. Somebody asked, how do they get my name? Why do I keep getting mailers? Because you're a voter. That's why your name is in there. If you're targeted basically with certain
demographics,
how you vote, you will be put those targeted. So the age, I don't know who Ghost Listener is, but you might be in the age of 50 to this. You might be a voter that votes all the time. You may have voted in the primary in 2020, but didn't vote in the general in 2020. Different scores, how they figure out who you are to get your vote. And then sometimes they target just your legislative district. So yes, that's how they get your information.
All right, Kimara, give me some last words. What you got for the people?
3 quick things. One, for y'all who suffer from anxiety and maybe even panic, like I do, learn to breathe. 6 in, 6 out seconds does a whole lot to reset your brain and all of that.
I like 7.
2, I was working on an email just now. I was like, let me just connect Paul and Jamie and just get this over with from OPPD. And then, I know this is going to be weird, but I just found out that this year National Voter Registration Day is on my birthday. So I'm going to be planning a party in September, and I cannot wait. We're going to do it through work and all of that. My sister said, "You so weird." I'm like, "Shut up."
That's so appropriate for you, though.
Yeah, it's a celebration.
Yeah, so appropriate for you. I love it.
September 26th is the 4th Tuesday of September is National Voter Registration Day. If you have thoughts or ideas about ways that we can just energize the community, let me know, because I'm trying to do something big. Yes.
Thank you guys for joining us. Really appreciate it. Very, very, very much. Once again, Women's Wednesday with the ladies, Precious McKesson and Kimara Snipes. Put some respect on their names. Politicking with P and seeing what's good in the hood. Thank you so much. We'll see you guys next week. And let us know. Give us a call if you guys are going to, if there's any days that you're going to go up to the legislature, because we're still trying to help arrange some of those things too and get people rides up and so on and so forth. Got to help back some of these things. And we just learn ourselves. Bodies in the room and people speaking up is what helps more than anything. And if not, then you can always send a letter. But let's try to get up there. So appreciate you very much.
Y'all need to go ahead on and become a partner and start coming to these legislative advocacy calls we do at the table.
Girl, I work two full-time jobs. I'm doing
Send somebody. Send somebody. Delegate.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to send 30 chat chimers right now.
But one of y'all participate on behalf of First Sky Omaha. There we go.
There you go.
Kimara, when is the next call?
They happen every week, I believe, on Wednesday or Thursday.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'll text. Remind me. I'll text.
Yeah. People in the chat asking as well. So.
I couldn't hear you.
Dang it! I would tell you to message me real quick, Ghost Listener, but you probably can't, because the calls are on Thursday, I believe.
Okay. Well, she's put the you went ahead and put that link in there so you can see that the legislation.
No, they are open to our members and partners through the Nebraska table.
Yeah, so just give us information on how to become a member or a partner. We'll drop that in Friends of, and those who are interested can go to Friends of, sign up, and follow along.
Thank you, buddy. Reel me in.
There you go.
All right, y'all. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Peace. Bye-bye. All right, there you go. We'll take a quick break. Whew, man. That was quite the session. Stay tuned. You listen to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, all of you chat chimers, ghost listeners, first and last time listeners, possibly. Let's see, we'll be back. Welcome back. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, chat chimers, ghost listeners. How you doing, man? How you feeling over there?
Hanging in there. The show's going by very quickly, so
it is. Yeah. Pop says Precious and Kimmer are delightful. I'm still smiling all the time. They are sharing info. Yeah, me too. Too. I feel the same way. Precious has put some information in. Go back and check her diatribe out in the chat over there. Also, I was looking at let's see. Ooh, somebody just said something that was interesting to me. Oh man, this chat, boy, I tell you what.
Yeah, chat's been going off. Big shout out all the chat chimers.
Oh, Rick Fulton said congrats to LeBron James on setting the NBA scoring record. He just beat Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with that one. Son-in-law Brian was in LA for the game working for ESPN. That's what's up, man. We need to get with you on that. Shout out to LeBron. I mean, Lakers, that's hometown. I gotta say something about that. And there's a bunch of records broken. Beyonce broke the record for the most Grammys just recently. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff going on with our peoples these days.
So history still being made in this here Black History Month. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying. In this here Black History Month, this here right here, Black History Month is going down. Whitney Richardson says, thanks, ladies. Y'all are amazing and your work is appreciated. Appreciate you saying that to them because we feel the same way. That's really what's happening. So appreciate it. Lady Keisha says, y'all are the best. Thank you. Yeah, what would we do without them ladies, man? I don't know what would be moving out here, to be honest.
Man, they're making it happen. They're making it happen for sure. So definitely appreciate them. Also, speaking of making it happen, those who are interested in OPPD and the conversations again that Sister Precious was having and is urging OPPD to have with the community, we did post that link in the chat as well. So if you're interested, definitely check that out.
Yeah, most definitely. Jillian Post says, want to repeat, if you cannot attend legislative sessions but want to submit online, you must do it at least 24 hours before so it can make it to the public record the day of the session. So in other words, if you can't get up there today, then you would have had to write a letter yesterday in order for that to be in the public record. So let's definitely check that out. Tracy Shot in the chat says, as a disabled woman, I try to recruit disabled voters. Iowa's new mail-in voting laws make it rough. Thanks for everything, Kimmer and Precious. Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, it's, we got our own rough laws over here, but I think Iowa's laws are even rougher when it comes to that right now. So. Yeah.
I saw a news report. The governor of Iowa, she's trying to completely restructure the whole government over there. Man, yeah.
Yeah, Kim Reynolds, all right. Something else.
There you go.
Yep. We only got about 12 minutes left in the show, and I definitely wanted to get to some of these other topics real quick. So you want to lightning round up a couple things?
Yeah, we can get into that. I guess we can conclude the housing conversation that we're having. Definitely want to let the people know about this city council approval for rental assistance that could be coming. Again, Omaha City Council unanimously approved $19 million in emergency rental assistance just Tuesday, which may be the last round of funding the city receives. The city first contracted Metro's area continuum of care for the homeless, aka MATCH, to distribute the emergency rental assistance funds back in March 2021. A Match has since distributed millions of dollars in funding, including money that was originally allocated to the state. During last week's public hearing, housing advocate Erin Feistinger, shout out to her, said this round of funding comes largely from the pool of money passed by the state. She says there's a small chance that more money is made available, but this may be the last round of federal funding the city receives. Also, Match Executive Director Jason Fieldhouse said that they are looking at the long-term future of the program with the dwindling funding. He also says Match is looking at other sources of funding as well. Commenting, saying over the next couple of years, there's a huge investment in affordable housing that will be available. I think we can accomplish a lot with with those dollars we currently have. The city council also discussed an amendment to the agreement with Front Porch Investments, who's also received several millions of dollars in ARPA funds to address affordable housing. Ever Roberts from FPI said the amendment agreement would allow for Front Porch to issue out longer term loans thanks to updated federal guidance. The original ARPA guidance said that any funding would need to be spent by the end of 2026, but now they will have more flexibility. So, and there are still funds out there. How much longer those funds will be available is worth discussion, but they are still currently available. Again, you can contact Match for those funds. Again, that's Metro Area Continuum of Care for the Homeless, MACCH, Match, MACCH. For more information, you can also contact Front Porch, who has some funds as well for affordable housing. So maybe we'll post some links into the chat. But that does it for the housing. Again, this is Black History Month. There were a few Black history and business stories that we wanted to talk about. Of course, big shout out to Channel 7 for highlighting the Empowerment Network and some of the work that they have been doing, I guess, over the years. Willie Barney was on First News over the weekend to speak with the host. Again, Willie Barney is the CEO and co-founder of the Empowerment Network. Apparently, 15 years ago, alongside his wife, Barney started the Empowerment Network to focus on community development. And 5 years later, they have decided to do the same for business. For the last 10 years, according to this article, the Black Business Network has worked with over 300 businesses, many starting off small and then growing into large companies. He says that whether someone is starting their business or is years in, the business network can help. Visit reviveomaha.com for more information.
Wanted to highlight this one because several people have put this in the chat, and several chat chimers have been talking about when are we going to get to talking about the Empowerment Network and those types of things as well. And so we want to. This is how we're going to start that conversation. That they were on the news talking about over 200 businesses, 300 businesses that they have helped, black businesses. They have a Black Business Network as well. I believe they have a Black Business Directory too, so you can kind of go and take a look at all these things. But we do want to do a little bit of a deeper dive on some of those things because a lot of the chat chimers will bring up questions like what Ghost Listener 402 is saying and what has changed in 15 years. For sure. Real quick, Zane says he loves you, Uncle Paul. Love you too, buddy. Thanks. Glad you're feeling better today.
The dude.
So we wanted to bring this up because this is going to be a subject that we're going to get into and talk about, and definitely put the word out that we want to interview with Brother Barney or somebody from representative from Empowerment Network, and get your questions ready for those for that, because we're definitely going to have to get into it for a bunch of different reasons. It ties to some of the money, the ARPA funds and things that's come in. We were kind of one of the first ones on the list that we're going to receive some funds. A lot of people are asking stuff like, what are these Black businesses? Here's the directory. You can go and check them out. I haven't looked through it myself. There's like 300 businesses in there. I mean, I hope they're networked with everybody. So
they have several categories.
Yeah, we definitely take some time to look through this and see who is connected to the Empowerment Network. Because I don't think that I know many businesses that are personally, but that doesn't mean much. I have not looked deep into what's going on there at all. So, in the beginning of our Mind and Soul days, Willie Barney hit us up to be part of the Black media that had a weekly meeting that kind of discussed what was going on in the Black community and so on and so forth. I did learn a lot from listening to those meetings and being a part of those meetings, but we quickly moved into the first Sky Omaha realm, which wasn't really the radio media anymore for that situation. So we kind of fell out of that. But I am interested now, just because now we're learning about things with seasons like Follow the Money and so on and so forth. Where's some of the money going? Well, their name comes up a lot. Empowerment Network name comes up a lot. Do they raise money to help small businesses get going? I'd like to learn more about what's going on there, because the chat chimers are putting in my head like, something that they're part of the usual suspects that always gets the money that's coming into town. So what does that exactly mean? And to tie it in with this other story that you just talked about, there is lots of money coming in. There's lots of money coming in to Precious would always say, see, I told you Biden was going to come in here. But I know a lot of Black folks have voted for Trump because they thought Trump was going to get them money, and Trump gave them a direct check when the pandemic hit. But Biden's programs got billions coming in, and we got people like Terrell McKinney and Justin Wayne, put some respect on their names, trying to navigate some of those funds to us to do certain things. Well, some of those funds go to what people are calling the usual suspects, and they're asking, what do they do? What is actually happening? Who are these 300 businesses, Black businesses? I didn't know there was 300 Black businesses in Omaha.
Man, that's a good point. That's a good point.
It's a lot of businesses, bro. Like, where are all these businesses that
Man, I'm just looking through the categories and I'm still scrolling. Grocery store, health and wellness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just trying to see, like Ghost Sisters bringing it up now. Name me actual success for someone in their organization. Yeah, like I said, I would really have to kind of figure that out. I'm looking up in the chat a little bit more. They channel people to their personal company, as you say. Follow the money. Look at the new LLC owners. Ernest White, for example. Okay. Well, it's definitely worth a little investigation. I never known Willie Barney to be the kind of person that shied away from any kind of transparency or any questions when they're asked. So it's just a matter of us bringing them on, asking questions, and us doing our own research on what it is that's going on. I even made the suggestion in Friends of First Sky Omaha, if there's a network of Black businesses, let's become one. Let's join the network and see what's going on in there, and talk to some of the other folks in the network. And it might be something that benefits everyone. You never know. So,
well, technically, we're a part of this. They have Mind and Soul listed under media. So yeah.
So and Mind and Soul. So that there it goes, because Mind and Soul hasn't been Mind and Soul for 2 years.
yeah. That's what I'm laughing.
If
Needs to be updated.
So we're one of the 300 in there. That's interesting. But with a defunct situation, but still, we need to go and try to find out what's going on. Everybody's got efforts to build Black business networks. I'm down for that. But I'm definitely down for hearing more about what's really going on straight up. Our style around here is to kind of speak straight up and have straight up conversations. Real talk, real time is what I call it. And so I definitely want to bring him in on to say that. And you know how I work. I'm going to give brothers the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to give Black organizations benefit of the doubt till they give me reason not to. I'm not blinded by that. That just because they're a Black organization, that means they're doing good. Not blinded by that at all. But I've never, my experience with the Empowerment Network and with Willie Barney has been limited, so I can't really speak on it too much. But I'm kind of listening to other folks telling me about how it is that they are, what it is they're doing, and how it is, who they're connected with, and so on and so forth. And that's, to me, that's he says, she says. So we gotta bring them on to find out who are you connected with? Are you working with the Buffetts? Are you, what's really going on? So look to that. I wanted to bring this up and address it. So many people put that in the Friends of First Sky Omaha. I know this is something you guys want to talk about it. And so we're definitely going to do that, and just let you know in future shows we'll bring the Empowerment Network on and have some conversations around all of these things. So get your respectful questions ready. Appreciate that one, Lewis.
Yeah. Just from glancing at the situation from my experience, my encounters, just seems like some of the big things missing just in the community in general is communication and collaboration. If we can do better on those two things, I think we'll start seeing some actual impact and some real results if we communicate better on what's going on, and then once we're aware of what's going on, collaborate with like-minded, individuals who are on similar paths. We'll get more done.
Most
definitely.
definitely.
Not a lot of communication, not a lot of collaboration going on.
Unfortunately, no. Unfortunately, there's not. As a matter of fact, Vaughn Chapman, who is a chat chimer for us, First Sky Omaha, said in Friends of First Sky Omaha, the problem with teamwork makes the dream work as the theme is that everybody ain't on the same team, and it's hard for teams to work together. So, it's a concern. What we feel like what we're building here is a team of like-minded individuals that are on the same page that can work together, and that's why we chose to go this route instead of the battlefield of trying to change people's minds. We're trying to talk to like-minded people and build the team that can work.
Mm-hmm.
But who is that, and can we expand that? That's really the questions to me. I want to know, can we expand that? So I'd love to know about it. I'd love to see about it. It'd be interesting to really talk. I mean, I have high hopes for the situation, but we'll see what's up. A lot of people are not feeling it.
Yeah.
Rick Fulton says, "I don't." Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I say teamwork makes the dream work because it's an ideal. You know what I mean? If the dream ain't working, is the team working? And if the team ain't working, then what we got to do to make that happen so the dream can work? That's the ideal.
Got to make the team work for sure. Rick Fulton says, I don't know much about Empowerment Network, but Willie Barney seems to know how to access grants and other monies. Yes, he actually does.
That's true.
When you hear us talking about the big suits, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about them cats that know, that have access to those kinds, the big funds, and I know they're getting those big funds so that they can empower the Black community. So we just want to know how. We just want to see how and understand that. Before we get out of here, I just want to make mention that tonight we'll be checking out Crush Groove at the Benson Theater.
Hey.
Everybody's kind of dressing up in their 80s best and coming and checking out the movie. This is part of the hip hop, the ode to hip hop that Michelle Trosclair has put together. That includes the DJ battles, that includes the concert at the Benson Theater, and tonight is the Crush Groove showing. One of two movies that we'll be showing this month over at Benson Theater. Definitely check it out if you need to get a little bit of a rundown of what some of the things are happening. 4th and 5th, which already passed, was the DJ battle. We got the winner of the DJ battle, who's going to be performing at the hip hop concert on February 12th.
Figure out who that was.
It was somebody who I didn't recognize, but I saw Augie Kid give him praise. Somebody who I didn't know. So he said he's the dude though. Augie Kid got to like second to last or something like that. So he got really close, but he had to give it up to the winner. So we'll see that during the hip hop concert with Light Pole, Tyneland Music, and Marcy Yates over at the Benson Theater on February 12th. So definitely check that out. And we'll definitely put these in Friends of First Sky Omaha. I'm not going to run down everything else, but just remember, you got something you want to get out and do tonight. It's supposed to be nice weather. It's supposed to be like in the 40s and 50s today. So put on your best 80s gear. Come out and check out Crush Groove tonight at the Benson Theater, and enjoy some of the 50 years of hip hop, the ode to hip hop, which is a celebration of the 50 years. I have not been doing my little hip hop little known fact, so I'll throw one out right now. Did you know that Beeee and Jay-Z were going to form a super group called the Commission?
All right.
Before Beeee died.
All right.
So, yeah.
Man.
Thought that was pretty interesting. So
it wasn't just Jay-Z and Biggie. It was Nas was supposed to be a part of that.
What?
Yeah. The Commission was about to be a super super-group.
Definitely a super group. Wow.
Yeah. Jay, and one other person. I want to say like Pun or somebody. It was gonna be like a Megatron of rappers.
The Megatron. I like it. That's what's up. Appreciate everybody who is who's chiming in the chat, man. We can't even keep up with today. It's just going off. I feel that though. Everybody's spirit. I love it. I love the spirit of everybody talking. And DJ Skyscraper, thank you. Amy Polite is in the chat. Okay, on YouTube. Appreciate you very much. DJ Skyscraper, that's right. All I could think about was this tall dude standing next to Augie Kid. So that's what's up. He won, and he'll be there on the 18th. So that's I love it. Mama Guy's giving some good advice. Put yourself in other shoes. You don't want folks approaching you with a combative spirit. Open your heart, speak your truth, listen to other points of view, and find points of collaboration. Couldn't have said it better myself. Appreciate that very much. That is the spirit in which we're trying to do some things here, and I hope that we are being the example of that, so we can have a different way to debate, a different way to come to some conclusions, being open and being open to others' ideas. Starts with, to me, with not insulting people in the first place.
Oh yeah.
If you don't insult me, then I will be more susceptible to listening to your ideas. I'll be more open because I don't have to be defensive, and it's as simple as that. So I love it. Miss Erica Fell says, great show, lots learned. Thank you, Buddy and Paul, and of course everyone. Drink water, shake your titties, and be good to yourselves. Appreciate you very much. I hope that you were doing well as well. Whitney Richardson says, wow, I never knew that. Like the hip hop soul Quarians. Come on, Whitney.
Yeah, man.
What you know about the soul Quarians? That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, man, a super group. There's you know what I'm saying? Can you imagine that? Just Jay-Z, Nas, and Biggie alone. That's crazy. That's like the black folks Crosby, Stills, and Nash. You just
all right.
Tracy Shot says tonight is a poetry open mic featuring Paula Bell at the Ultra Lounge. Wow.
Okay.
So if you want a more low key thing, go check out some poetry at the Ultra Lounge with Paula Bell. She's a master of her craft. But if you feel like dressing up in the 80s and coming to see the breaking movie, come and get your breakdance on, man.
Dust off the track suits. Let's go.
Let's go. We got to find them parachute pants in the closet. We're going to get out of here. It's already 9:05, buddy. You got some words for the people?
Man, big shout out to everybody, man. We appreciate all of y'all for embarking in this journey. Even the discourse, man, is part of the course, but we're here to have communication, we're here to have community, and we're here to get to the bottom of things. So everybody who gets that, we appreciate y'all, and for those who don't, hopefully eventually you do, so we can get things done and your voice can be added to the conversation, because everybody has a piece to the puzzle. So we appreciate y'all. We love you. We thank you. Catch the same time, same place, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Big shout out to the ladies for coming through. Precious McKesson, Kimara Snipes. We appreciate y'all as always. If you're going out to Lincoln, please drive safely. But we do appreciate you for engaging in your civic duty. So with that, Paul B, take it away, man.
I want to give a shout out to Gwen Easter. I forgot to mention her earlier. She said she's going up to the legislature today. So right on, putting the power behind your actions there. I love that. So thanks for going up and repping today. Anybody else is going to go up to the legislature, it would be great to have some bodies in the room in order to support Terrell McKinney's bill. He's going to be trying to make it so that the police are held accountable with stuff, and you can read their records, and they don't just get fired for mishandling people and get another job somewhere else. They need to be checked out. Who's policing the police? So go ahead and I know that you agree with that. Go ahead and help him out. As we said, the best thing that you can do is show up and speak on an issue that your senators are pushing to help push that agenda. So that's the power that we have. And if you can make it up there, cool. You can always hit us up on Friends of First Sky Omaha and drop that you're going to go. And we'll from time to time get on there and correlate a little direction here, helping people get rides up or whatever needs to happen, some coordination, so that we can get as many people up there during these sessions as we can. So thank you to Gwen Easter for taking that upon yourself to go head up. Appreciate you very much. And everybody else who's deciding to go up today as well, that has been really, really doing a good job. Marianne Williams, people are on it, man. So I really appreciate all y'all for sure. Just want to say thanks to the Omaha Tribe elders for allowing us to be on this land and speak while we're here. Thanks to our elders, everyone, all of them, for allowing us to speak before them. And hopefully you don't feel disrespected by anything that I had to say today, that we had to say today, for all the elders. And I want to give a shout out to all the chat chimers who allow us to speak with you and listen to all the great information that you bring us as well. We constantly are learning because of you, so we appreciate it. Thanks to everybody who is a reoccurring member of the station and the channel as well. Appreciate everybody who does the $10 a month, $25 a month, $50 a month payments in order for us to keep this show going and keep things happening over on the radio channel as well. If you want to hear a celebration of Black music, go to firstskyOmaha.com, hit the listen button, and it's a 24/7 digital radio channel happening over there as well. Check it out if you get a chance. You can also hit up your Amazon Alexa and ask her to play First Sky Omaha Radio. So thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Mama God says, love you, First Sky fam. Love you too, Mama God. Appreciate everybody who's on here today and all the work that you guys are doing with us to make this conversation happen. And this collaboration rules the nation too. All of it.
There you go.
Yep. Appreciate you guys. Have a good one. Take care of yourselves. We'll have the brothers senators on Friday, so definitely tune in Friday from 7 to 9. Until then, we'll see you. Peace.
By the way, Vanglorious, this is protected by the red, the black, and the green. At the crossroad, with the key.
By any means necessary.
See you later, Zane.
The dude.